I might be dreaming because Manchester United are literally working on 5 different transfer deals as we speak. We're also in talks with 2 other players, so that could be 7 other deals. Apparently 3 other players are close to being sold, and all this information has come out in the last 12 hours. So Ineos, what is going on? What have you done to my club? Because this is like, we're operating like a proper club. We're doing business. Like, we've got some bid accepted. We've now made a bid here. We've made like 4 bids in the last few days. We've made 4 bids last night for different players. We've received 2 bids for players. Guys, I literally cannot get my head around the amount of news coming out in regards to Manchester United at the moment. It is absolutely crazy. We're going to talk about Greenwood. We're going to talk about a surprise new signing potentially coming in. Hancko, Ugarte bid in. Ligt bid in. Zirkzee release clause triggered. Wan-Bissaka bid from West Ham. More news coming in. Another Branthwaite bid as we covered. Guys, it's crazy. Like last night, Man United did more in the space of 2 hours last night than they've probably done in a whole transfer window under the Glazers. The way that just moved was, guys, I am flabbergasted by what is going on. Let me show you something. I'm going to get into the news, but we're actually acting like a proper club. So this is a little bit of a summary of what broke last night and what I covered in my video this morning, or late last night. So this is what I tweeted last night. In the last hour, United made a 45 million plus 5 million bid for Branthwaite. They made a 38 million bid for Ugarte. They received a 27 million bid for Greenwood. The Branthwaite and Ligt deals are being worked on top of Zirkzee and Ligt signings being imminent. We then hear 10 minutes after I post that Man United are close to agreeing a 43 million fee for Ligt. So in the space of an hour, we've made a Branthwaite bid and a Ugarte bid. We've received a Greenwood bid. Zirkzee's basically done. The Ligt's basically done. We've made a 43 million for a move for Ligt. We've now got news coming in today that Manchester United have had talks with Ivan Toney. We've now got news coming in today that they're receiving a bid for Wan-Bissaka. They're receiving a bid for leaving. It does not stop. Like, when I say it is not stopping, it is not stopping. So if you're finding all this news absolutely crazy, well, you're in the right place, because we're going to break through all the news stories in today's live show. So make sure you hit that like button if you have not already. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new as well. The Branthwaite bid has been rejected. I am going to confirm that. I think it didn't take a genius to figure out that the Branthwaite bid would be rejected as soon as it went in. So Manchester United made a 45 plus 5 million bid for Branthwaite. It was obviously going to be rejected. I think potentially they could accept a 50 million plus 5 million bid for Branthwaite. I think there's potential they could accept a 50 million plus 5 million bid for Branthwaite. I think there's potential for that if we rise it a little bit, gradually rise it. I think going in for Hancko, who's a left centre-back, potentially could scare everything into thinking, okay, they're not going to overpay for Branthwaite. They're not going to give us what we want for Branthwaite. I mean, absolutely massive stuff. So we're 3 minutes in, let's get into it. So obviously this is a little bit of context on what came out last night, and then I'm going to get into the news that's come out this morning. So let's get into last night's news. So it was said last night that Greenwood is set to join Marseille on a permanent transfer. Marseille's bid was 27 million. Greenwood refused Lazio to join Olympique Marseille. He's chosen to join Marseille and discussions continue. Greenwood to Marseille is 95% done unless the situation changes. Romano said this. So Time Sport said this: Mason Greenwood is close to agreeing a £27 million move to Marseille after being told again that he has no future at United. He was told by United's new football leadership team of Jason Wilcox and Dan Ashworth that there's no way back and that United will likely accept a £27 million bid for Greenwood. So Manchester United have accepted a 27 million bid for Greenwood reportedly, and that bid will also have a 40 to 50% sell-on clause, and Greenwood is close to his £27 million move to Marseille. Just to let you know, we've got 27 million for Greenwood, and we could have got a little bit more money for Greenwood, but he goes to Marseille, has 2 years at Marseille selling for 60 million, we'll get another 30 million on top of that, and all of a sudden we'll look at it and say we've got 57 million for Mason Greenwood. So I think the fact that we're getting £27 million and 40 to 50% resale clause on Mason Greenwood is quite good business. I think, yes, I would have liked 35 million for Greenwood upfront free with a 40% clause. But I think when you realise that we can't come back because of external issues, I think that is absolutely fine. So Mason Greenwood to Marseille, that is basically done. So what could be happening? So taking you back to context, actually, let's get into the Branthwaite story. Taking you back to context, last night it was confirmed that Man United submitted a 45 million plus 5 million offer for Branthwaite. Fabrizio Romano then confirmed this news that United submitted a 45 plus 5 million offer for Branthwaite, but Everton's still assisting on around 65 million. I think 55 million could maybe get it done. We then had confirmation from Ornstein that Man United's latest offer for Branthwaite falls far below Everton's valuation and is firmly expected to be rejected. Everton see him in a similar bracket to Harry Maguire, Wesley Fofana, who both have not been 80 million players, and Guardiola, who've all been of figures excess of 75 million. Man United consider Branthwaite and De Ligt as separate deals. Both players are keen on joining United. So, why have I just shown you those stories? Because I'm going to go back to this and I'm going to show you exactly what we've learned. And now, if you've been following me, I told you that for ages, I've been saying on this channel for, I'd say, a good month, that we will sign 2 centre-backs. Man United's goal is to have 3 top centre-backs rotating with each other, which would be De Ligt, Martinez, Branthwaite is their dream. Now, if they can't get Branthwaite, they want to sign a left-sided centre-back that can also give cover at left-back, because that would be 2 signings in 1. We are also in talks with a Turkish left-back, and Tier 1 Turkish sources are saying that we're really close to signing a Turkish left-back, but we will get into that later in today's show. When I say there is so much news to dive into, to get into, I mean, it's... Guys, I don't know where to begin, but I wanted to quickly give you the Branthwaite story of last night to give context as well. So please do hit that like button. Big up Stephanie, big up everybody in the chat. I will get into the live chat in just a second as well. Someone said that Fabrizio Romano has tweeted. Fabrizio Romano has tweeted this just now from Fabrizio Romano, breaking. Everton have already rejected Man United's bid for Branthwaite on Monday night as soon as they received it. 45 million plus 5 million in add-ons is considered a proposal far from the price tag. Everton see Branthwaite similar to Guardiola and more. So he's just copied what Ornstein have said. So that's just coming from Romano. So I wanted to give you context to that story because this is a player that I spoke about a bit. Now, I actually spoke about him on my second channel because he was linked to Liverpool. And this is David Hancko. Now, David Hancko is a 26-year-old player who's captain of Feyenoord, is a brilliant, brilliant defender, had an absolutely brilliant season. He can play left centre-back and he can play left-back. He's had a very good season, but obviously it depends on the fee. Man United, if they probably wouldn't want to spend more than 30 million on this guy. They potentially may look at this guy if they can't get Branthwaite. The dream is De Ligt, Branthwaite, Martinez. That is what Man United want to do. They've made that clear. But if they can't get Branthwaite over the line, they've got Hancko there. They're looking at Hancko. And do you know what that tells us? Do you know what that tells us about Hancko? Because I've spoke about him earlier. I've done some research on him. He's a very similar profile to Branthwaite. But that says to us, Man United are looking at 2 centre-back signings, which says to me, one of Maguire and Lindelof are on the way out, because Man United are pushing for 2 centre-back signings. Ornstein, Romano have confirmed that. Where are we getting the money for? Man United, we're so broke, we've got no money to spend in the window. All lies, all games, as I said, all a tactic. But we are now making moves for David Hancko. Now, the reason we're doing that is because if we don't get Branthwaite, we will then go and target another left-sided centre-back, and that might be Hancko. So I think that gives us a lot of insight and a lot of information on what is going on at United as well. Buy and get 50% of the Zirkzee deal money down the line is still money. Yeah, exactly. Buy must be loving us. We're buying De Ligt off them, and they're getting a bit of money for us buying Zirkzee. I tell you what, doubled up, Jay. 29 likes away from 100 likes. Please do hit the like button, people, as well. People saying Branthwaite's overrated. Branthwaite is a very good player with very good potential. And if you look at what Man United did in the Fergie days, Michael Carrick, we used to pop up some of the best talents in domestic football and sign them for United, like Michael Carrick, for example, from other clubs. Wayne Rooney when he was really young. Man City did it with John Stones. So Jarrad Branthwaite's a good player and he has potential to be an absolute legend at Manchester United, but he's not worth more than £50 million. £55 million in add-ons, fine. I understand 50 million for Branthwaite, 70 million you can do one. He's a good player. He didn't make it in the England squad. There's better options out there. He's got good potential. He's had one good season at Everton. He had a good season at PSV. I think Branthwaite is brilliant. I think Branthwaite's a great player, but I also think that Branthwaite is not worth more than £50 million. And that's something United have to be careful with. Now, one player we could be getting for £38 million is Manuel Ugarte. So what has been said on Manuel Ugarte to Manchester United? It was said contacts between Manchester United and PSG for Manuel Ugarte is still ongoing. Ugarte is waiting and keen on joining Man United. Fabrizio Romano has said for the last week, Ugarte wants Manchester United. Ugarte's agents had talks with United. Ugarte has said yes to United, is given the green light to United. Contract terms won't be an issue. Personal terms can be agreed easily. bosh. We also know that Manchester United have been flying between Copa America, and Ugarte's agent has been flying between England and Copa America to get some business sorted for Ugarte to United. Now, interestingly, developments coming in from a good French source said this: Manchester United have made an offer 38 million plus add-ons to PSG for Manuel Ugarte. Luis Enrique will decide whether to let go of the midfielder or not. Now, Luis Enrique has already decided he's going to let go of Ugarte, because Fabrizio Romano then said that PSG and Ugarte have given Man United the green light. Fabrizio Romano said the exact words: PSG, Luis Enrique, Manuel Ugarte have given Manchester United the green light. We also know from really credible sources that PSG want to recuperate around 50 million for Ugarte, but they won't get that and will accept to do in the 40 million range. Man United wanted to buy Ugarte for 35 million. Man United's bid for 38 million plus add-ons. If those add-ons take it to 43 million or above, PSG will accept the bid. So if there's 5 million in add-ons on top of this 38 million deal, that should be done. It's now down to Luis Enrique to say, are you okay with selling Ugarte for 38 million? Ugarte, personal terms, Man United, not an issue. The green light is there for Manchester United from PSG. PSG have given the green light for the deal. You can have Ugarte. Just give us some add-ons on top of 38 million. Ugarte's given the green light. I want the move. We just now got to wait. And considering that Ugarte was signed before Luis Enrique even came in, before Luis Enrique even joined, considering Ugarte was signed before he joined, Luis Enrique came in, wants a possession-based style of football, and made it clear within about a month of joining, yeah, why'd you sign Ugarte? I think Ugarte to Manchester United is one to watch. I think Zirkzee will be the first here we go. I think Ugarte will be a here we go. I think Ligt will be a here we go. And I think we'll get another centre-back signing all in the next week. I think once Greenwood is sold and we get the here we go for Greenwood probably today that he's sold, because Marseille is set to accept that bid, then I assume that we will then start making moves for Desiree Doué. I generally think and there's going to be a lot happening. Hancko is a baller, says guess who? You know what? Going back to this guy, the Feyenoord 26-year-old centre-back, I think he's a top player. I did a video on him on my second channel on Hancko, because he was linked to Liverpool because Arne Slot is at Feyenoord. I'm really happy with this guy being a Branthwaite alternative. If Man United want this guy to be a Branthwaite alternative, I'm absolutely all for it. I'm going to show you something actually. If I can, I'm going to show you something. Bear with me a sec, because I've got a really important thing to show you if I can find it. And that is on Hancko, because I can show you what you need to know, because there's just a few updates coming in on him. Here it is. Let me show you this on the player before I get into the De Ligt news, because, well, apparently we've made a bid for De Ligt as well. So there's just, like, every time I check my phone, Man United have made a move. Man United have done something. I haven't even got into the stories about Wan-Bissaka being sold. Like, apparently West Ham are putting in a bid for Wan-Bissaka. Like, it is crazy. I'm trying to get into all the news as fast as I can in this live show, so then I can get into the live chats, but just cover the news quickly for you guys as well. United starting to act like a proper football club at long last, backing a trophy-winning manager. You know what, Stephanie? You're spot on. Man United right now are acting like a proper football club. Man United are acting and operating like a proper football club right now. We're backing the manager. We've got Dan Ashworth and Vivian in the same day. We've got Ruud van Nistelrooy and René Hancko coming in. We've got an agreement there with Zirkzee. All we need to do is trigger his release clause. We've got an agreement there with De Ligt, and we're sending in a bid for De Ligt that buy-in is set to accept. We've received a bid for Mason Greenwood, and he's going to be sold today because we're going to accept that bid. We made a bid for Jarrod Branthwaite, which was rejected. We're instantly making moves for Hancko. We're in talks, in advanced talks, to sign a Turkish fullback. Apparently, Maguire is with Man United expecting to receive bids for Maguire. Apparently, Wan-Bissaka is set to be going to West Ham. Jadon Sancho is set to be going to Juventus. It's like, what is going on at my club? What is going on at my club? And also, we had talks with Ivan Toney and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, despite agreeing personal terms with Joshua Zirkzee. As John James said, it's so refreshing that we're moving and not being taken for mugs in the transfer window. Like, I can't stay up to date with all of this. 150 likes, not charges. Big up Stephanie as well. I'm like, what? The Ugarte source is reliable. The Ugarte source is quite reliable. It's not Ornstein, but it's a good source. So this is what I wrote about Hancko in a Liverpool video. He's a 26-year-old player at Feyenoord that's a left centre-back, left-back hybrid. His fee is going to be 30 to 35 million. Now, as a backup option, I get that United may view that as a little bit more expensive. Now, what you get in him is he's a leader, he's big, he's strong, he's physical. I put him, obviously this was a Liverpool video, long-term Virgil van Dijk replacement. But very good player, very good at playing in the modern system, very good on the ball, could do what Martinez does, but also if we can't get Branthwaite, he's got the physical profile. He's very good at defending the wide areas. He can even play left back, which maybe United think 2 signings in one, bish, bash, bosh. Hancko. So obviously that was Liverpool news. And then Ethan also said this, if we should look at alternatives in the market. These were some of the names available that were available. These are some of the players he named that was available in the centre-back market for under 50 million. And Hancko was there. That was a video made like 2 months ago. But Hancko, I think, is a good player. Like, if we can't get Branthwaite for less than £55 million, then I would be going in for Hancko. I would. If we can't get Branthwaite for less than £55 million, I would. So let's get back into the news. Let's get back into the stories because we have so much to get into. So much. So, Ugarte, Man United, green light, 38 million bid. PSG should agree the green light to that. And if that is true, we'll have to wait to see what Ornstein and Romano say. But if what Alexis Bernard is saying is true, then Ugarte to Manchester United is very, very close. But one deal that could be advancing quicker than you may think is De Ligt. And Hancko and De Ligt for 70 million is good business. We might be able to get Hancko and De Ligt for about 70 million. And you're absolutely right. That is very good business for United, considering, I will tell you this now, the old Man United board before Ineos would have been still working on the Branthwaite deal. They would have caved. They would have given Everton 70 million for Branthwaite. We may sign De Ligt and Hancko for the same amount of money that we could have signed Branthwaite for. Everton wants 65, 70 million for Branthwaite. The old United board would have caved in and brought in Branthwaite. The new Man United board is saying, well, if we can't get Branthwaite for the price we want, we can get Hancko and De Ligt for the same price Branthwaite would have cost, and we get 2 for 1, which is what Liverpool would have done, which is what Manchester City would have done. So to see Manchester United, obviously it's not done yet, it's not official, but to see Manchester United operating like a proper club is absolutely brilliant. It's fantastic to see. So let's dive into these next stories. Guys, make sure you hit that like button if you have not already. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks if you're new, because this story broke very, very early in the morning from Chris Wheeler, who is a reliable source, because Chris Wheeler was first to confirm the Greenwood bid, first to confirm the obvious bid for Branthwaite, and then it was confirmed by Ornstein and Romano later. So Chris Wheeler then came out with Chris Wheeler's report last night, guys, was fantastic. He came out with so much good, relevant information as well. So it was said Manchester United are close to agreeing a 43 million fee with Bayern Munich for Matthias de Ligt. Now, apparently that fee is 35 million base and 8 million in add-ons. So there's apparently 8 million in add-ons involved in this fee for De Ligt. So apparently we're super close to agreeing 43 million fee for Matthias de Ligt. And it's actually going to be 34 or 35 million plus 5 million in add-ons, which I think is a pretty good deal because the add-ons only are there if he plays a lot of games and plays well. It was then said by Romano that Matthias de Ligt believes Manchester United is the perfect opportunity. He wants to reunite with Erik ten Hag and feel like an important player. So we have news, insight, confirmation coming in that United are close to agreeing a 43 million fee for De Ligt. De Ligt, personal terms, Man United, not an issue. The green light is there. De Ligt lowering his wages to Man United, that's going to happen. 43 million fee, Bayern will accept. Should be 35 million plus 8 million in add-ons, which will only be paid if De Ligt is a regular and pays. De Ligt for around 35 million, raising to 43 million add-ons. Hancko for around 30 million. Bish, bash, bosh. If we can get Branthwaite for 50 million, brilliant. But if we can't, walk away from Branthwaite because he's not worth all of that as well. And obviously that was the Branthwaite news about the bid. The bid has now been rejected. That has been confirmed. But as it was said, we want De Ligt and Branthwaite. If we do sign De Ligt, we will look to sign a second centre-back. I am going to talk about Desiree Doué in a second as well. Big up Raz. Alice is a very decent YouTuber. Appreciate that. John James says open heart surgery was needed years ago, but we only had salesmen, not doctors. Now we have professionals in the buildings. Let's go. Do you know what? I was skeptical about Ineos. I had my doubts. I was getting a bit worried in June with how long it was taking to decide Ten Hag's future and nothing happening. And then all of a sudden, now Dan Ashworth and Christopher Vivel is in, Man United are like Bosch. And the fact that we couldn't get Branthwaite, and instead of going and wasting time on obvious deals like Gay and overpaying for him, we've gone for Hancko, who was a player that I've suggested we should look at. If we could, Hancko, Hatto, Pacho, Hincapi, Calafiore were deals that I suggest we should look at that Man United would never look at because that requires scouting. all of a sudden you can see, well, Vival's influence is coming already. Vival has begun work. Dan Ashworth has begun work. All of a sudden, we've got Ruud van Nistelrooy, René Hakke in. We've got Vival and Dan Ashworth in. And Man United have just gone, boom, we're going to get to work. We're going to get this done. We're going to get that done. Like, brilliant. We've got over 750 people watching, guys. Only 155 likes. Can we hit 300 likes? With just less than half of you, hit that like button right now. We will be close to hitting our target. I want to talk about Desiree Doué. I want to talk about the winger situation because Greenwood sale is close and we may be pursuing a winger. I want to talk about a lot of news. But I want to talk about, of course, some interesting stories that have been coming in that are kind of surprise stories that I'd say are ones to keep an eye on. These are ones to keep an eye on stories. So what are these stories? What are these news reports coming in? What is all sort of the information going about right now? So it was said that Manchester United are planning to meet Ferdy in the coming days. United will start attempts to buy him in the coming days. Apparently, he is a fullback at Fenerbahce. I'm not going to pretend that I know this player. I'm not going to pretend that I know who this player is. But apparently Manchester United, and this is apparently a credible Turkish source, are planning to meet Ferdy in the coming days. United will start attempts to buy him. If you know the player, let me know if I've pronounced it right. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. That was the first of the stories. The second of the stories from Chris Wheeler was that Sancho, Casemiro, Van der Beek, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof and Pellistri could be sold to balance books. So what we've got now is 27 million for Greenwood. We should be able to get a loan obligation to buy of around 30 million for Sancho, going to 35 million. So Sancho plus Greenwood, 65 million. Van der Beek we didn't get any more for. Wan-Bissaka could be sold for about 15 million, which takes it to about 80 million. We're going to talk about that in a second. Lindelof could take it to 90 million. Pellistri could take it to 105, 110 million in sales, which would be really good from United. Now, interestingly, West Ham are going to make a bid for Wan-Bissaka this week. And if Man United receive a bid between 16 to 20 million for Wan-Bissaka, because he has 1 year left on his contract, they are open to doing that deal. They're open to selling Wan-Bissaka, and a bid is expected for Wan-Bissaka this week, which is big news as well. Royal said we should keep Pellistri. I like Pellistri, but ultimately we can get about 15-ish million for him. And considering he's not in the plans, because we have to choose between Pellistri and Ahmad, and we view Ahmad as better, if we can get 15, 20 million for Pellistri off the back of a good Copa America, I take it. We can't sell Anthony. Would I rather Pellistri play than Anthony? Yes, but we need to raise funds. So Ahmad and Pellistri can bring us in funds. Ahmad would bring us in 30 million. There was actually a 30 million bid for Amad Diallo yesterday from a big club that had been rejected by United. So we know Ahmad could bring us in easily 30 million. Pellistri could maybe bring us in 20 million. Because it's Man United, I've said maybe it's 15 million. That's why I think Pellistri will be sold. So they look to be the players that Man United will be selling as well. This chat says, De Ligt, Hancko, Chalobah, Ugarte, Fofana, Amrabat, Doué, Zirkzee. If we could sign them all, these players, we could be complete for the title for next season. I think you'd have to also wait for them to gel together and take time. You've seen Chelsea sign a lot of players, but to an extent, yes. I think you have a point. I would swap Chalobah out for an actual fullback, but I really like where you're going with that as well. I want to talk about some news as well. 30 million for Ahmad is an insult. Apparently, if Manchester United receive offers over 40 million, they may consider selling Amad Diallo, but they would need over 40 million, which is fair because I love Ahmad, but over 40 million for a guy that's not played much last season, we'd get the money back we paid for him. It's not too bad. But apparently, Ahmad is going to have a big role at United next season, and we might even be offering him a new contract as well. Ahmad has actually switched his agent out, which may suggest that he's in talks and looking at the idea of potentially bringing in, staying at United, signing a new contract, etc. So let's dive into some more news. United says chill, let's not get carried away. You know what? I need to chill out because I'm getting excited, I'm getting hyped. And what do Man United like to do? Let me down. They love to let me down. So I'm just getting excited because I wake up. Okay, well, I don't wake up. I was awake late last night. But in the space of in the space of an hour, we'd made a bid for Branthwaite. We'd made a bid for Ugarte. We'd made a bid for De Ligt, and the deal was almost agreed. We obviously got personal terms agreed with Zirkzee 2 days ago. In the space of you got to realise this. Like Man United, it's normally we work on a player. We know we're working on that player for about 6 weeks. We sign that player. We work on another player. We know we're working on that player for 6 weeks. We sign that player. All of a sudden, we're working on 4 players coming in 4 players coming in. We're making bids. We've got personal terms agreed with 3 of those 4 players. Branthwaite, we have personal terms agreed with. Ugarte and Ligt, we have Ligt and Zirkzee, we have personal terms agreed with. And Ugarte, we have the green light. We will agree personal terms with him if we move ahead with that. We've got personal terms agreed with 3 players. We're making 4 bids. We accepted a 27 million bid for Greenwood today. Apparently, we're going to accept that bid. You know, Sancho is apparently really close to Juventus. We're expecting a bid for Wan-Bissaka from West Ham in the coming days. You've reportedly communicated that. Like, when does this happen? It's like, I can't get my head around it. I'm just getting excited as well. 237 likes, guys. So close to the 300 like target. 800 people watching. So make sure you hit that like button if you have not already. Gavin said Ahmad is our Elise. I think Ahmad, you know, hasn't got quite the output of Elise, but the similarities there as well. So let's dive back into the news. Let's dive back into the stories. So this is just a little bit away from transfers, but I want to include this in just to give you some context of what's going on at United. The Athletic said this: Omar Barada was central to Christopher Vival's appointment at Manchester United, having previously got on well with him when doing business together in previous roles. It was said that Christopher Vival tried to bring Erik ten Hag to RB Leipzig before he left Ajax for United. So what's interesting is Vival is a big fan of Erik ten Hag. Brilliant. That's good. Vival knows Erik ten Hag. He knows his style of play. He knows his philosophy. Vival is now doing recruitment. We don't get Branthwaite. All of a sudden, United make a move for Hancko. That sounds too smart for Murta. That sounds too smart for Arnold. Oh, wait, you've got best-in-class people in the footballing department, and you're actually operating on footballing deals. You're actually making moves for smart players and not overpaying. You may get 2 centre-backs in for the same price Everton want for Branthwaite. Shock. Omar Barada apparently was central to that appointment. Omar Barada starts work at Manchester United officially next week. Dashworth, Vival, Ruud van Nistelrooy, René Hancko and Jason Wilcox have already started work at United. All of those people will be working together. René Hancko and Ruud van Nistelrooy joining Ten Hag in the coaching department. So that was also other interesting news coming in as well. So stable clubs rate Erik ten Hag, big shocker. The thing is, I could understand why Erik ten Hag would have been sacked, 8th place, negative goal difference. But I wanted Ten Hag to stay because I thought he won 2 trophies in 2 years. The Man United team isn't great. We've gone through manager cycles every 2 years. It does not fix the problem. If you followed Man United every year post Sir Alex Ferguson, one thing we learned, I think, towards the end of the Ole era was the manager's not the problem. We need actually a proper system around the manager because every manager comes to United and fails. So the main reason I wanted Ten Hag to be given time wasn't because I was happy with last season. It was a disgrace. It was because I want to see how Ten Hag does in a proper operating club, a proper operating system. And that might be what we're getting with the assistants coming in, with the recruitment moving. I generally believe that we run this club efficiently. Ten Hag can be a successful manager because we saw that he was a very successful manager at Ajax. We know that he can win trophies. So all I'm going to say is if Man United are operating like a proper club and Ten Hag is the manager we think we have, because I think there's a very good manager there, Premier League rivals should be scared, because the minute Man United act like a proper club, we'll be back on top. And the minute we're back on top, we'll be making so much money that Manchester City can't compete, because our club is ultimately probably 196 times bigger than Manchester City if you times their fan base compared to ours. I mean, that was just a really random number. Maybe I'm underestimating it. Maybe 1,000,000 times bigger than Man City. But that's what I mean. You get Man United back to winning everything. We already generate the most money when we're crap. Imagine how much money we'll generate if we're back on top. Then we become this stable club that is generating the most money because we're back on top. So then we can spend the most money and then we can remain on top because we're a big club. And that could be Ineos's plan. That could be the plan all along. 18 likes away from 300 likes, people. So make sure you do go ahead and hit that like button if you have not already. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new and want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news. If you've just joined, here is quick context. Greenwood, 27 million bid to Marseille. Greenwood set to join Marseille. Man United set to accept today. Marseille's 27 million bid for Greenwood, which has a resale percentage of 40 to 50%. So Greenwood's going to Marseille for 27 million, bid to be accepted. He's been told to go. All I'm going to say is, yes, we could have got more money for Greenwood, but if Marseille sell him for 50 million in 2 years' time, we'll get over 50 million for Greenwood in total. David Hancko is one that we're looking at because Everton are asking for an extortionate price for Branthwaite and we want 2 centre-back signings. So David Hancko could come in as the left centre-back if we do not get Branthwaite for the price we want. He's a very good player. Man United have made contact with Ugarte. They have the green light from Ugarte. He wants the move and now made a 38 million bid for Ugarte, which PSG may give the green light to, but we need Fabrizio Romano or Ornstein to confirm that story because Alexis Bernard is not of the same reliability scale, but it is coming out from French sources that PSG will accept a 38 million bid for Ugarte if it includes at least 5 million in add-ons, so that could be done. De Ligt, Man United apparently close to agreeing 43 million fee with Bayern for De Ligt. De Ligt to Man United, here we go, could be expected any minute now. It was also said that De Ligt believes United's the best opportunity for him. We had a Branthwaite bid rejected, as you know. On top of Branthwaite, we want a second centre-back signing coming in. It's saying we want both Branthwaite and De Ligt. It was said that we're planning to meet Ferdi in the coming days, who's a fullback from the Turkish league, potentially coming in as a backup left-back. I think Man United have decided, you know what, let's spend cheap at left-back because we've got Harry Amos coming through and Luke Shaw and Malacia are expected to be fit next season. So I think United are like, okay, you know what, we'll spend cheap at left-back. Sancho, Casemiro, Van der Beek's already been sold. Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof and Pellistri are players that will be sold to balance the books and expected to be sold. West Ham set to make a bid in for Wan-Bissaka. Vivel is a big fan of Ten Hag. Jadon Sancho was not asked to return to Carrington. Apparently, I don't know. One report is saying Jadon Sancho has been asked to return to training and he didn't return, is what one source said. Another source said Jadon Sancho wasn't in training because he was asked not to come back to training because he's going to be sold. And another source said that Sancho was in training and there was no photos of him. So let's actually wait for clarity on the Sancho news. But Sancho did, according to Italian source Alfredo Pedella, who's a somewhat decent source of information, reject an important offer this morning because he wants to wait for Juventus. Apparently, a club put in a bid for Sancho or an offer to Sancho, and he said, I'm going to Juventus. Apparently, Sancho's had private communication from Juventus to basically say, we're going to make a 35 million offer for you, hold out for us once we sell Zirkzee. And Sancho is holding off for Juventus. So if that is true, maybe that again is triggering why Man United are willing to spend a bit of money because they know they're going to get some decent money for Sancho. KN7 says 3 Todibo. I would love Todibo at Manchester United, but apparently it's just not going to happen. And it's annoying, but apparently it's just not going to happen. We got everybody in the chat. Hancko is older, more experienced. Hincapie, I think, has a better ceiling, better potential. He's obviously 4 years younger and had a great season with Leverkusen. If you want him to play more left back than left centre back, go for Hincapie. If you wanted to play left centre back more than left back, go for Hancko, I'd say, as well. We could look at Matteo Darmian as a squad player. I think we could do a bit better than that. I like Darmian, but we can do a bit better. 311 likes, guys. Can we hit 400 likes? Make sure you subscribe, by the way, if you're new, because if any breaking updates come out throughout the day, I will be doing a short video update on that, or potentially even live, depending on the story. I do 2 live streams a day, and I also do a video at 10 p.m, 9:30, 10:30 every evening. A 10-minute video that comes out every evening, rounding up all the transfer news in 10 minutes. So if you don't have time to watch a long live stream, and you just in the evening, 10 o'clock at night, just want a video that in 10 minutes will round up all the Manchester United news that's come out in the last 24 hours, subscribe, because I do my late night 10-minute roundup videos as well as live streams throughout the day to the channel. But I want to get back into the news. I want to get back into some of the information coming out. So this was the story that was reported yesterday, but I thought I'd just report it to give you guys a little bit of context as well. Apparently, Todibo is going to Juventus. So there's rumours of Todibo going to Juventus, so we'll get into that. And this story coming in is that Joshua Zirkzee can't wait to be a Manchester United player. The here we go on that move is imminent. So it was said by Romano, Zirkzee can't wait to be a Manchester United player. The here we go on that move is imminent. So keep your post notification bell on for Alice Talks Football, because the second we get a here we go done deal confirmation for Zirkzee, there will be a video out. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Same with De Ligt, same with Ugarte, same with just anybody that we're linked to as well. So apparently Joshua Zirkzee is desperate to join United. He can't wait. Here we go is expected soon. It was also said that Manchester United were represented in Las Vegas as Uruguay, not Brazil at Copa America. They were checking on Manuel Ugarte, and we've now held talks with Manuel Ugarte. He'd love to play in England. We also had news coming in that United turned down a £30 million offer for Amad Diallo as well coming in, which obviously I spoke about in my stream last night as well. Sounds like proper football people doing our business. Do you know what? That's what's happening. All of a sudden, we're acting like a proper club. I mean, nothing is done, nothing is official, but we're acting like a proper club. Man United need versatile players as well. Maybe Ferdi's going to play right back because Wan-Bissaka's going as a backup right back. We need versatile players like Hancko, I agree. Ugarte's in need of midfielder. I will say this, 2 midfield signings. I get that it... breaking news. Breaking news coming in right now from Fabrizio Romano. Let me share my screen Here we go, baby. Let me share my screen. So, Fabrizio Romano, 30 seconds ago, has just said this. Olympique Marseille official proposal for Mason Greenwood is worth €30 million, £27 million plus a big sell-on clause. The future sale incentives considered crucial by Man United. It can be around 40 to 50% with final talks ongoing. So here we go for Mason Greenwood. I think is coming today. Mason Greenwood, here we go. I think is coming today. That's just broke from Fabrizio Romano. Confirmation of the £27 million bid for Mason Greenwood with a sell-on clause of around 40 to 50%, which may give Manchester United an opportunity to pursue Desiree Doué. Now, Desiree Doué is a player that Manchester United want to get on quick. They want to advance on Desiree Doué, but so do Chelsea, so do Tottenham. There is a lot of competition to bring in Doué if Manchester United want Doué. So hopefully now that Greenwood is on the verge of being sold and that bid has been confirmed by Romano, Man United can then push for Desiree Doué. Now, what has been said about Desiree Doué to Manchester United? Well, it was said earlier that Manchester United approached Rennes to try and agree personal terms for Desiree Doué. That was said about a month ago. Now, it's been said recently that United are in talks over the pursuit of Desiree Doué and would like to get the deal done. But Tottenham and Chelsea are also advancing on Doué. So there's a lot of updates coming in. The latest update that we received on Desiree Doué, which was 2 days ago, was then this. It was then said on Desiree Doué to United that Manchester United, Chelsea and Tottenham are looking to immediately sign Rennes wonderkid Desiree Doué. Bayern Munich and PSG are also interested. Chelsea and Spurs want to sign Doué by next week. So we also got confirmation and insight that Manchester United are interested in Doué. The fact that Fabrizio Romano has essentially come out and basically said, yeah, it's a €30 million deal for Greenwood, which is £27 million. £27 million with a 40 to 50% sell-on clause says to me, you know what, it's a decent deal. Alice, do you think United will bid again for Branthwaite, or do you think they will pursue other targets? I think they will bid again. The highest Man United are willing to go for Branthwaite is £55 million. So I think they will make one more final bid for Branthwaite, and then they'll walk away and go for Hancko if they can't get the Branthwaite deal done or over the line as well. £27 million PSR is going to get us at least 50 mil right. Because of pure profit, yeah. The good thing about selling Greenwood is because he's an academy player, it is pure profit on this guy. Pure profit, which looks really good in the eyes of PSR as well. Hancko is turning 27. I thought United were done with signing players over 25. Man United's strategy is to sign players under the age of 26, yes. But Manchester United, they also want a mix of experience, players entering their prime, players in their prime, and players with bags of potential. Man United are happy to do the odd deal here and there for older players, especially if it's more for depth and experience, like Hancko, because the Ligt and obviously Martinez would be the ideal centre-back pairing. So, you know, that sort of Man United want to balance it out like that as well. 50 million for Branthwaite's ridiculous. I would take Branthwaite for 50 million as well. Oh, no. No. Well, actually, I shouldn't say no. We know this is happening. Madrid are now in concrete negotiations to sign Lenny Euro. No, I mean, we all knew it was going to happen. We all knew it was going to happen as well. Our right wing could be Doué, Ahmad and Shea Lacey. Yeah, well, Doué's actually played more of a left wing. I think it could be Doué and Rashford on the left, Garnacho and Ahmad on the right. You've also got Shea Lacey and potential other youngsters coming through. And Anthony will still be at the club, guys. Woo! Removal starting to happen as well. Hopefully, it's a domino effect. The fact that we're now expecting something to happen for Sancho, Greenwood, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, Donny, Casemiro in the coming days is big. Oh, guys, whoa. Do you know what? I heard a rumour of this, but I didn't think this was true. The Athletic, Laurie Whitwell, who is one of the best sources of information in Man United journalism, has just dropped a story. I mean, guys, I'm live, and other big stories are being dropped. They were said new loan options for Manuel Ugarte is seriously being contemplated. So Man United may be able to get Manuel Ugarte on loan. Like, that's mad. We're now, like, I tell you what, today has just been, when I talk about Man United news, today, I think this last 24 hours has been, as a YouTuber that has to stay on top of all of the news, it has been hard. Like, it has been a lot. But we're now getting news like this. And interestingly, I'm going to add something else to this. Not just loan options being consider for Ugarte. But this is what else Laurie Whitwell had to say that's come out just now. Laurie Whitwell then dropped this story. He said the prospect of signing another number 9 has not been completely ruled out. Joshua Zirkzee might not be the only signing on the offence this summer. It would take significant sales. So we might also be looking at another number 9, and you'll be thinking, well, so who is that other number 9 we're looking at? Well, apparently we're still keeping an eye on Ivan Toney. We're still keeping an eye on Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and we'd like to bring in a winger. So we've now got news coming in today that we might be signing 2 number 9s, and that we might also be doing a loan deal for Ugarte. So we've got told we have a 38 million bid for Ugarte that's going to be accepted if Enrique gives the green light, but that came from a tier 2 take with a pinch of salt source. We've now got from a tier 1 source and Laurie Whitwell, actually United are going to see if they can get Ugarte on loan with an option to buy. So if we get Ugarte on loan, that would give us funds to get 2 midfield signings in. All I'm saying is, let's think this out. Zirkzee and De Ligt, if you include agent fees and add-ons, probably comes to 80 million combined. You get Ugarte on loan with an option to buy, 5 million loan fee, 85 million pounds. All of a sudden, you've got the funds there to go for a second midfielder, Youssouf Fofana. That takes you to 105 million pounds because that will be 20 million pounds. Then you go and spend 50 million on a left back hybrid, whether it's Branthwaite, whether we go for a Pacho, Hincapie, another random option. I'd be interested to see what we do with the new recruitment team. I'm not sure. But then all of a sudden, we then sell Greenwood and Sancho. We've got the funds for a winger. Man United could generally complete their goal of signing Desiree Doué, Zirkzee, Fofana, Ugarte, a left back hybrid, De Ligt. That player could potentially be Branthwaite, and then potentially a little backup right back to replace Wan-Bissaka if he goes. They may sell Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Casemiro, Eriksson, Donny, Pelistri, Sancho, Greenwood. It's mad. We might actually, for the first time in years, have a proper transfer window that we've been crying out for. I like Frimpong, but he's such an advanced player. He's practically a right winger now. We can't make the same mistake with Ugarte that we did with Amrabat. Ugarte needs to be signed permanently before we prioritise and never see him next year. I don't mind getting Ugarte on loan if that means we can sign Fofana alongside Ugarte. But I get that maybe getting someone permanently could be smarter. Youssouf Fofana is one we're looking at, but nothing will happen until France are out of the Euros. He's available for 20 to 25 million. Really good midfielder as well. For me, I like Ugarte, but I definitely want another midfielder that's good on the ball in case Kobe gets injured. Otherwise, we'll be struggling on the ball in midfield. So Ugarte and Fofana would be the ideal situation. Now, also, I want to add some news, actually, that's not been reported yet, but it will be reported soon. And that is that Christopher Vival, he's obviously coming to United and he's been told to operate in the summer and January window. Apparently, Man United, if the season starts slow, are willing to back Tenag again in the January window. So Man United will be willing to spend money in January as well if, let's say, we don't get Fofana, Ugarte is the only midfielder, there's an injury that happens. Instead of us doing nothing in January, apparently Man United are also saying we've got to be active in January as part of the new deal as well, which is quite interesting and quite nice to hear. Alice, who do you think will be the first signing? I think Zirkzee. I think there could be a here we go today for Zirkzee. We'll probably get a here we go today for Mason Greenwood, obviously. Romano's basically confirmed that the Greenwood sale is done, so I assume we got the Greenwood here we go today. But make sure you subscribe, because if we officially buy any players, as soon as news breaks that we buy players, there's an update out. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to stay up to date with that as well. People are forgetting Garnacho as a right wing also. We should keep Wan-Bissaka and start getting left back sorted. DCL, no. I agree with no DCL. I think Zirkzee as a player is good enough. Yeah, for me, Zirkzee and Højlund's all we need a striker. I like Man United signing 2 attackers, but that second attacker better be someone that can play on the wing. Zirkzee and Højlund is all we need a striker. If you want to sign another attacker, Man United, go sign someone on the wing as well. Do I think we'll sign a winger? Yes. I think the fact that Sancho and Greenwood are so close to leaving Manchester United, I think we probably will sign a winger, if I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. They're very close to leaving. We're having advanced talks with wingers. I expect Man United to get a deal for a winger signing over the line. Alice, how are you feeling? I am good, thanks. Big up everybody in the chat. I'm going to get back into some of the stories as well. Apparently, Malacia will be back for pre-season, but again, it's just like a tier 2 source saying that. We'll have to wait and see what the Athletic says. They'll be the ones to report that as well. I feel like Doué won't sign us this competition. Man United, Tottenham and Chelsea are really pushing for Doué. Bayern and who stole Elise off us, and PSG interested in Doué. Maybe he'll want to stay in France at PSG. They're probably the favourites. We like Doué, but there is competition. Now, I think one thing is we've had talks with Doué, so we must have had some indication that he could come for us to continue with that. I think once Greenwood is sold today, which I assume it will be today, we could push for Doué. Guys, we're 7 likes away from 400 likes. This may be crazy, but I'm going to ask for 500 likes. Can we do it? Look, we've got nearly 1,000 people watching right now. So only half of you guys need to have hit the like button. So can I be crazy and ask for 500 likes? Can we do it? So do hit that like button if you have not already as well. Anthony will probably be our new left back. Honestly, at this rate, I'd rather Anthony play left back than right wing. I think he's probably better there as well. We should go for Zirkzee. He's available for around 22 million, and Juventus wants Sancho. We could swap deal and work it out. He's injury prone, and I don't think he's that good personally. I think potentially for depth if we run out of options, but if I was going to sign anyone from Juventus, I actually prefer Sule. We have Ethan Wheatley, 3 strikers, exactly. I don't see the point of going for Dominic Calvert-Lewin when we have the likes of Ethan Wheatley potentially coming through, and obviously we've got Højlund and Zirkzee now. Zirkzee, here we go, is expected to come out today, so that's big stuff there. Guys, I'm going to scroll back through the news as well. If you've just joined, we have a 27 million bid for Greenwood received with a 40 to 50% sell-on clause. United are going to accept this bid for Greenwood. Final parts of the deal was being worked on. Then here we go. Greenwood leaves, 27 million bid accepted with 40 to 50% sell-on clause. Hancko is a 26-year-old centre-back who can play left-back that we're looking at in case we can't get Branthwaite because our second Branthwaite bid has been rejected. Apparently, you've made a 38 million offer for Manuel Ugarte, according to Alexis Bernard, who's the tier 2 source, but a somewhat decent source out of France. But the Athletic are now saying that we could be signing Manuel Ugarte on loan, so that is one to keep an eye on, but he wants the Man United move. We're close to agreeing a 43 million fee with Matthijs de Ligt. Here we go for Matthijs de Ligt. Could be very, very soon, and it was said that Matthijs de Ligt believes Man United is the perfect opportunity. He wants to reunite with Erik ten Hag and feel like an important player. We obviously had a 45 plus 5 million bid for Branthwaite rejected. We want to bring in both Branthwaite and de Ligt, but Everton want a lot of money. Apparently, we're planning to meet 30 in the coming days and start attempts to buy the player from not Feyenoord, Fenerbahce. Sancho, Casemiro, Van der Beek, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof and Pelistri are likely to be sold, with West Ham set to make their first bid for Wan-Bissaka this week. Omar Barada was central to Christopher Vival's appointment. He's a big fan of Ten Hag, and reports of Sancho being back at Carrington today and not showing up untrue. Sancho also rejected an important offer this moment. He's waiting for a Juventus deal, and Zirkzee apparently can't wait to join Manchester United. So, when is the first pre-season game? A week today, or a week yesterday. On Monday. The first preseason game is on Monday, guys. Man United are back in training. Big things are happening. But I'm going to wrap up the live show here, guys. So please, if you have not already, hit that like button. Subscribe down below if you're new. Today was a massive show. Today was an unbelievably big and massive show. So thank you for all the support. I had so much news to get through. I do apologise if I spoke fast. I do. There was just so much to get to. Big up KN7 saying, love the channel, interacting and informative. That's what I try and do. I try and inform you guys of all the news, get to the point, and interact with you guys in my live show. So I appreciate that. But wow, it has been a big day of Manchester United news. You know, a lot coming out today. Here we go is probably coming in today, and I will try my best to make sure that I get news out as soon as it happens for you guys. I'll be doing 10-minute videos every evening and throughout the transfer window. Every evening throughout the transfer window, between 9:30 and 10:30 p.m, I do the 10-minute roundup, where if you don't have time to watch a long live stream and you just want the news in 10 minutes, there, bosh, it's done for you. 10-minute roundup. So big up everybody in the chat. Thank you for watching. Smash a like, smash a subscribe. See you next time. Bye.